talk to you more about that in a bit. This round of 16 women's singles battle should be quite a thrill, no doubt about it. So Du-Hoi Kem right there getting ready for this best of 5 battle. First player to win 3 games to 11 points must win each game by 2. As Ma Lin summons in someone to fill that bottle. Here's the tale of the table in their WTT head-to-head. They played twice, and while sharing is caring, YINGSHA did not care about that. She won both of their matches, leaving none for Du-Hoi Kem. Currently world rank number 40, Du-Hoi Kem. That's maybe the lowest world ranking I've seen from her. Don't let it fool you. It's been as high as world rank number 7, and YINGSHA has been sitting on for some time. Yangling, our umpire from Singapore, Teochew roots, and nothing but the best umpires in the world for these key matches at the first Champions event of 2025.
Red. Red for 2, black for Sun. Red. Serve. Oh, side.
So Du-Hoi Kem wins the toss, chooses to serve. YINGSHA chooses the right side of the table. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobro, and joining me, co-commentator, who's been in flight with me for quite some time, friend and fellow table tennis evangelist, Fraser Riley. Welcome back, Fraser.
Thanks, Adam. Great to be with you here, and what a pleasure it is again to be watching the world number 1 in action.
Yeah, so much to say about her, and all you have to do is walk around either the fan zone or just the stadium itself. The merch is CHONGQING and YINGSHA, like there's not another player in the world.
They literally fill stadiums. Here,
how about this? You say the name of the event and I'll say the result. Go. Champion. 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 Man, we are so efficient. Thank you, Shasha, for making that easy. That's what teamwork is all about. It makes the dream work. Shasha's not here alone. While she sits in the #1 spot alone, it takes a village sometimes to produce this type of player. I saw some adorable pictures of her online the other day as a child playing with grown men at community centers in China. We'll talk more about that. Let's talk about Du-Hoi Kem. 28 years old already. Beat Liu Shiwen back at the Olympic qualifiers when she was quite young, 13 years ago. While she has no WTT titles to her name yet, it just speaks to how strong the competition is. Du-Hoi Kem with more spin than most. She's good behind the table. And she's working hard for the money. There's good reason to. There's a lot of money. $60,000 US for the champion. And the loser here walks away with 10 G's. That's 10 grand. That's enough for some really good hot pot for a really long time. Fraser, if you're Du-Hoi Kem, what are you telling yourself after this fan vote?
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, yeah, the WTT head-to-head 2-0. Overall head-to-head 8-0. Du-Hoi Kem's only won 1 game against YINGSHA before. A good turnout for her there.
Yeah.
I must admit, she has strengths. She has abilities that can challenge Shasha, no doubt about it. From the reverse serve to the timing to the power.
Yeah, and let's not forget the fan vote. 29%. That's a decent shot.
It certainly is. Let's see what happens here.
Cast your votes at worldtabletennis.com on the WTT app. So we talked about her spin game, Du-Hoi Kem. She plays a very relaxed game in general for a player who generates so much spin. She's good on both wings. And here she goes to start it off with the serves. Not the first time we've seen a match start this way, but we've also seen matches start this way that quickly turn around. It's funny, the original Baby Shark, Du-Hoi Kem against Baby Buddha here, who many call Baby Shark in China. There we go, that extra bit of spin.
Nice back on flick there from Du-Hoi Kem.
In England, do they call it the tortoise and the hare?
Yes.
Cool. So it's not always the flashier one who wins the race. Slow and steady here. Du-Hoi Kem will have less flashy shots in this match, I imagine. But another one in the books. YINGSHA, that forehand is devastating when it comes out to play.
Unbelievable. Just so merciless. That first one there as well. That was an investment shot.
Now let's talk about depth from the table. Du-Hoi Kem gets behind the table a bit in self-defense. but it seems that she's going to do everything she can to stay as close as possible.
Yeah, percentage-wise, she wants to be trying to take time away from Sun Yingsha. Can do that on a more consistent basis, staying a little bit closer. That's the usual way of doing things anyway.
No
with
flash,
players
please.
who
2-0.
blur the lines a little bit.
What? I like this tactic. Long push, then one big shot to counter. You push long to Shasha's backhand, it's not easy to predict where it's going to go. You know it's going to be quality, but at least you know you're going to get a long put, an opening shot back to stay on top of to counter. Step around so quick.
The long shot doesn't have that surprise factor as we see her personal coach Sun Yingsha, personal coach Choyuka, is going to be troublesome.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Coco Chanel himself in the crowd here. Ma Lin on the bench, trying some different things out here. Team coaches versus personal coaches. That one looked like it hit the top of the net and then hit the back of the net. Like it just completely went repelling. A little excursion here for the ball off the racket of Shasha.
Decent quality, but Sun over it with the backhand. So strong. 146 weeks now as well, number one.
And speaking of numbers, if I'm not mistaken, Shasha has more WTT wins than anybody in WTT history.
That's absolutely right, Adam.
There's a specific number that I think she's really, really close to. You and I might be reading the same paper, but in the race to 100, I believe right now she sits on 99 wins.
I think you're right. If she makes the quarterfinals here, she's done it.
And that means winning here today, she could create history to be the first player in the world ever to get 100 wins in WTT. Oh man, with shots like this, it's not going to be, well, easy for that. For her to not cross through the tape of that race to 100.
An awkward ball to deal with. I mean, not for Sun Yingsha, of course, but heaving up the back of the ball. So much rotation from KEM. Zero hesitation, though.
7-3.
Yeah, if she wins this, it'll be 100 wins, and she's fighting for a chance to win her 15th WTT title.
Taste of her own medicine here. KEM stealing it from the baseline. A little bit of wiggle room goes a long way. You have to look hard sometimes for these opportunities. Barely any racket drop, little backswing. Disguises her opening attack well, KEM. Oh, we love the rally. It's top block from KEM. A big backhand counter from behind the table. Not so, yeah, not so common either.
No, not at all. Did really well to hold in there. Trying to play with additional rotation and a bit further away. It's an amazing point.
The momentum with the world #1, the top seed, defending champ Sun Yingsha. I love it, the tuck. The racket head gets nice and low there. And as they say, like throwing a frisbee, watch KEM. Man, springs up with the waist, the twist, and everything else to get that extra racket speed.
9-5.
We don't see so many reverse servers in the women's game, reverse pendulum servers.
That's one thing that always stands out for me about KEM before it starts. Before each match, I think to myself, reverse pendulum from her and just a handful of others. Trust in the footwork, Shasha moves her way around and gets 5 game points after that effort.
It's a whiplash again. Look at that, she had a lot of table to cover after a full stroke, pivoting. It's amazing.
Shasha takes game 1 in style, 11-5 over KEM, the world #40, who's been the leader for Team Hong Kong China over the years. Now at 28 years old, battles against, well, the strongest in the game. It just makes me wonder.
要不有机会就能下手，没机会的话就空了，不见得。
quite recently in the final.
别的都没问题，然后就是箱型里头注意点，他这个反手有点薄，有点节奏，这个是有点准的问题。
So many titles to her name. It's an honor to watch her play. And speaking of honor, she's on a roll, baby. Roll of honor. The champions of the past 6 months. YINGSHA champions Macau, the China Smash. Sansu Kyoto, who's been well in the top 10 now. Kwai Man, a wild card and debutante. And world number 7 here. Wang Manyu back-to-back in Frankfurt in the finals in Fukuoka. Kwai Man once again in Doha for the star contender. Contender Muscat Xu Xuanyao, who many have been impressed by. YINGSHA with the Singapore Smash. 3 times up there. See any other players who can say 3 times in that last 6-month period? Oh, I was asking if you saw any other faces up there 3 times. It's very loud in here.
I was so focused on YINGSHA and Kwai Man, so I was
Second
thinking about what you
game.
said.
Good
How long
to
could her dominance last?
No flash,
Kwai
please.
Man's one who long-term
No flash,
serious
please.
concern.
I feel the same way. She's going to get more
Local.
versatile with time. She's so fast. She's very, very quick in decision-making. She's so fluid when she plays. Little
Lock
fortune
one.
here for HOI KEM on a fadeaway shot. Falls back, but still takes the point. It almost looks like they're making a video game where HOI KEM is going to be a character. She's got the motion capture tape.
Yeah, I like that.
1-0.
And I mean, technique-wise, she's someone who you could definitely be inspired by, you know?
I hear you. As soon as you said technique-wise, I'm thinking that's a really good point. You want a good video game? The player looks like a pro, get HOI KEM involved. Oh, the timing.
1-2.
It's weird to me because there's textbook play and YINGSHA isn't breaking any rules per se, but she just moves so fast and resets so quickly that she can pull off some of these big twisting shots. And yet still recover to do it again.
3-1.
Yeah, and play the parallels even when she's been played cross-table, which is so difficult to do. And her strokes are so powerful, like you say, yeah, it barely seems to cost her any time or positioning at the table. What do you do?
3-2.
Heavy rotation spin game. It's always nice to see your sparring partners and teammates alongside court here. I feel like players in the women's game that do use the reverse pendulum serve, as Ma Lin approves of that last point, to the delight of the crowd. Always a bit of charm from the penhold god. I'm going to say that those women often have very good spin games as well.
2-4.
I think that's essentially the reverse pendulum serve. If you're taller, it's a little bit easier to get the elbow up high to come under and around the ball in that way. HOI KEM taller than average. Hong Kong. Watch the youth of China here cheer on the woman who's won 12 of the last 16 points.
Chen Yi there and Xu Yi, who was actually training with YINGSHA in preparation for this event. Yeah, I agree with what you said about the plays with the reverse serve. There's swings and roundabouts to it, but HOI KEM's so effective with it. I think, you know, philosophy is you're using so much side. Unless your opponent can control, you get what you want on the third ball. And yeah, she's so effective in over the table as well. It doesn't even have to be necessarily long for her to attack it.
Good use of a little bit of side spin here with that foaming backhand, a little brush. HOI KEM covers the middle with the racket up a little bit to cover the elbow.
I like the headband.
Was just thinking she looked like a character in one of my favorite rollerblading 90s films.
3-7.
And it just seems like she could be sort of the protagonist in any cool action film involving electronics and wheels. That said, 4 points in front, the world number 1.
Slowing the game down nicely there, YINGSHA, kind of dangling it in front of HOI KEM, not easy to produce your own pace against those balls, especially because they're quite deep on the table.
Yeah, that versatility makes her incredibly tough to figure out. Very close to some double happiness, but it doesn't catch the edge. The fact that Shasha can slow the game down, what do you do? That's one of the greatest weapons you can have against the fastest, strongest in the world is pace change, something funky. But from the wide forehand, she makes a move and sets up 7 game points for a 2-0 lead. On the edge of the table here, takes the game 11-3. Shasha needs 11 points, clear by 2, to be the first player in history to get 100 wins at WTT. Man, not YINGSHA, not YTT, not Wang Yu.
下场如果同样2个，同样他就失误没关系，就你给他就失误也没关系啊。包括你正手这球也是，当顶完以后后面身上连续。
还是老头。
So what we've been talking about, check this out. Here it is. No one is close to Shasha. Miwa Harimoto trails, but she's a few full car lengths behind on this freeway to 100 wins. Shasha has her tires on the line right now. She is 1 game away from winning her 100th match at WTT. I think, Fraser, you brought up a good point. When you're playing major events, too, I mean, it's part of the reason YINGSHA is out in front of anybody else, because he was playing all sorts of events. And obviously, as world #1 now, he's clearly shown and proved his world ranking. But Shasha has been world #1 for years now. I feel like in not too long, it'll be 3 years. Still have a little ways, I believe, but that means she's only able to play the biggest events.
That's right, never played a feeder, played 1 contender. Lost to Harano in the final there in Zagreb, interestingly, but basically every event she's played has been star contender and above.
2-1.
She's won more Champions events than most players will win feeders. Crazy.
Indeed. I like the glide.
2-0.
Here's John Liu, longtime coach. The team Hong Kong and China's winning. HOI KEM has a good response to that shot right into the middle of the table, just guides it back.
Injection of pace. And doesn't overcommit, doesn't panic, doesn't go too wild. Look at the momentum there.
Yep, not too shabby. Just shy of 75% of the last 32 points. That's a big sample pool.
3-0.
Think about it, 33 points is enough to win a game if you don't allow a point from your opponent. So there's that reverse pendulum serve. Comes just long, but it's close enough to the back of the table that Shasha has to try and make something from a difficult place. Tied game here now.
Maybe came off the thumb there of HOI KEM.
Can be effective if you make it on the table, but tough to control first. I'm just thinking, you and I know this, and many fans who play table tennis know this, as a timeout is called. If the ball hits the hand holding the racket, the ball's still in play. So what if you had like a really big
，OK 嘅，如果上手，你睇你上手其實 OK， 唔好擺呢個平啊，去擺呢一個。如果佢擺面呢個波係咪上去攞咗信心？攣完之後第二板亦都係腿埋，攣完之後呢個波有技術再有信心。係嘛？你頭先佢塊面定數呢個人哋寫一個實地嘅。
Down on the scene right now. We go live to our from the scenes reporter. The practice hall. It is HOI 9000 watching in. And look who it is. It is the world #1 Lin Shidong, who's been incredibly strong, the star of the Shidong show, and An Jae-hyun, man who's always made a good entrance into the Olympic battle coming up after this match. So back from the timeout, HOI KEM looking to extend this match. What do you think she can do to have the best chances possible?
I think that Sun's received so well on the other side, maybe serving that reverse middle of the table. Make it a little bit of a guessing game. Maybe a few more long serves actually.
A little bit of fortune here for the world #1 after a shorter serve to the forehand side. So we'll see if she pulls out some long serves here and there. A little bit longer in the edge of the table from the net to the edge. Shasha can't believe it, they like it. A little bit of a blushing moment as if she was embarrassed to get so much fortune so quickly right out of the timeout.
That's the last thing she needs right now.
But the crowd loves a little bit of charm, a little bit of blush. This is just too pretty.
It
turns and just disintegrates this ball. One shot right down the line, out of reach, tough to predict. We've got media running behind us. People are getting ready for the big news. Think about how long this has been in the making. Chiquita finds the net.
It's going to be a special moment. A landmark moment.
4-9.
Someone just asked me, do you think she knows that she's on her way to 100 wins? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if she's not focused on it, and I also wouldn't be surprised if she's unaware.
Yeah. I'd be leaning more towards the unaware side.
10-4.
Just to be clear, he said unaware. Yeah. Keeping it appropriate. Good times. 6 points in front here, 6 match points. HOI KEM says not so fast. I don't want to be remembered as the player on the other side of this record. Beautiful forehand flick, not easy to execute. 5 match points left. Ooh, HOI KEM right down the line coverage here. A dangerous shot to go to the short side of the table.
Beautiful there. Turned and burned.
And she takes care of it. It is YINGSHA as Coco approves 100 wins in WTT. She moves on to the quarterfinals, but she stamps her name in history for just one more of many reasons in this wonderful sport. A stadium full of fans witnessed it live. A moment in history that will not be forgotten soon. The defending champion has made 3 digits in victories in WTT, and she did it in fashion. Less than 5 points a game on average, 5, 3, and 6. This was a chokehold. This was a masterclass from the queen of the game, the world #1, YINGSHA.
Congratulations from all of us, YINGSHA. This is an incredible accomplishment, justifying being the world #1.